Okay, no, but realistically, if someone was giving head and they died,
Is it jail time? Is it manslaughter?
yeah, because it's accidental. Like I didn't.
I still think you would get jail time.
But it's like you have no control, right? Like if you squish someone's head into a pulp with your thighs,
Ma'am.
and they die, they suffocate.
I think it's involuntary manslaughter.
Wow, could you imagine going to
Jail because of the power of your pussy?
Because you were given the best head of your life?
The best head.
You
I mean,
murdered
whoever
someone?
died went out like a champ.
I mean, I don't think
Doing
anyone
the
would be
Lord's
upset.
work.
100%.
Would you go to hell? Yes. Would you go to jail? Yes.
You'd go to a fun part of hell, though.
Take that stripper pole all the way
Like
down.
that deserves penthouse apartment in hell. You know what I mean? That's not lower circle hell. Like, yeah, you killed somebody, and yeah, you
Your
had
punishment
sex.
is you get to fuck Satan.
Hell yeah. Anyway, welcome back to Chaotically Bookish.
My name's Annabelle.
My name's Ashley. And we both agree that you'd probably go to jail if you killed someone
With the power of your pussy.
with the power of your pussy. Anyway, this week we thought we would do rapid fire reviews of some books that we've both read.
We don't usually read the same books.
We never read the
This
same
is like
books.
a miracle.
That's what's so exciting about this, though, is we don't read the same books.
The
So,
common theme is that they're spicy.
100%. It's also great because like we're gonna have totally different opinions about it, about all the books.
Don't mind me, I'm just eating my banana bread
She's
over
just
here.
eating banana bread. So, what are you currently reading? You know what? Finish your banana bread.
Okay. I am currently reading fuck.
how's
Gallant.
that?
Gallant. I am reading Gallant. I have 50 pages left in Gallant. And I'm also reading The Wrath and the Dawn, which you gifted me for my birthday.
Yeah, I figured you'd really like that one.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's got South Asian vibes. It makes my little South Asian heart happy.
Oh, now that you've said it, now I'm like craving reading that book. I'm a big mood reader, and I'm struggling.
It's real cute. It's real enemies to lovers.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's well done.
Because it's like the whole premise is he kills his wives,
Yeah.
right? And she comes in and she's telling him a story that never ends, so he has to keep her alive.
It's real cute.
Yep. Let me see if my library has that. Excuse me.
It's real cute. I really like it. What are you reading right now?
Well, I finished Gallant and I loved it so much. And usually I want to put like a romance or something stupid in between big fantasy or fantasy-esque. So I was going to read Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover because I have that from the library. But I also have League of Liars from the library, and it's kind of like Six of Crows, but not really.
League of Liars.
Yeah, it's a new release by Astrid Schultz. It's about this kid who lives in a world where magic is considered evil because it hides in the shadows, and you can do absolutely anything with this kind of magic. Anything you want, you just ask for it and it'll do it, but it's out of control because you could say, I need a ladder to escape my bedroom, and it'll give you a ladder, but you don't know where the ladder came from. So someone could have been on that ladder and fallen to their death.
Oh, shit.
So this kid has a resentment because his mother died because of someone's careless use of magic.
Okay.
And he becomes a lawyer in like this big jail that's like that holds people for doing magical crimes, etc. And he ends up meeting these criminals that use this magic, and he finds that they have their own reasons and these good reasons, and so they basically make this massive jailbreak.
That actually sounds really freaking interesting.
Yeah.
Like, how are you reading it right now?
I'm about 10% in.
What do you think?
I like it. I actually like the writing. I think it's really interesting.
Yeah, because that's usually like when you're about that point in the book, like you don't know much about it except
No.
like the writing style. I'm like, that can make and break it for me.
Here's the thing though, it is a standalone.
Ooh.
So I hear mixed reviews about the ending.
What are your thoughts on standalones? I actually wanted to ask you that. What do you think the perfect book, like the perfect, like just okay, perfect series, perfect. Like what would be like what would make a book perfect for you, like lengthwise,
For a standalone?
just in general?
perfect length for any book. 450.
450
is my golden, like 400 to 450.
But do you think it should continue on to his series, or do you think 450 pages you should be able to completely finish and like tell the most perfect story?
I think if you're going to do the basic North American way to tell a story, which is start, middle, end, then yes, 450 pages be done. But if you're going to kind of do start, conflict, maybe another conflict, end, and like you can kind of keep going, or you don't have an ending. I hate it when like a book is supposed to be a series, but that first book has an ending. So it's like, why would I move on to the next book if the first book has an ending?
Yeah, I agree.
Like, what's the point?
It needs to be a cliffhanger, or it needs to have some sort of open-ended kind of...
Yeah, like Defy the Night by Bridget Kemmerer. I really liked it. I think I gave it 4 stars because if she had tacked on maybe an extra 100 pages, it would have been a standalone. Granted, she's known for her plot twists, but I was just thinking to myself, I was like, cool world and everything, but you've kind of resolved the issue.
Interesting.
So now you need a bigger issue.
Oh, the Inheritance Games.
Yeah.
No, fuck. The Inheritance Games. Is that a duology, or is that a standalone, or is it... Because I thought, I'm like, is the Hawthorne Legacy a spin-off?
Trilogy.
Oh, it's a trilogy.
See.
Interesting.
And you know what? I'm not mad about it.
Oh, did you like the second book? I was going to ask you that.
Oh, yeah. Okay. They all have 5 stars, and the final Gambit is going to get 5 stars. It could be the shittiest book alive, and it'll get 5 stars.
What color is it going to be?
Red.
Ugh. I'm so sick and tired of the traditional 3 colors. I feel like it's always white, black, red.
No, this one's blue, green, red.
I know, but I hate the red. Get the red out of there. Make it purple.
It's a nice red. I don't think it goes with the other books, but
that's my problem. I feel like always trilogies, you look at them and they have these weird ass color schemes.
I know.
What's it called? Gilded Wolves. First book's green. Second book's white. Third book's an orange. Why? Makes no sense.
It's always green, blue, orange.
I hate it.
Have you noticed that? I have so many trilogies on my shelf that are green, blue, orange.
Orangey, red. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate
calm down.
Calm down. Don't go from a cool tone to a warm tone. I hate it.
Nah. Like a cohesive look. I get that you want it to look different.
Yeah.
But keep it chill.
Stephanie Garber knows how to do it.
Stephanie Garber knows what the fuck is up.
Those colors that she's picking.
Yo.
The cover of what is it called?
The Ballad of Never After. Never After.
It's like a beautiful lilac.
It's so pretty.
And the first book was this dusty.
It was like a dusty pink, like a baby dusty pink.
Beautiful.
It was so pretty. And you know what I like about she writes trilogies, or maybe this is a duology. I don't know yet. But you look at the Caraval trilogy, they're all black or dark books, but they just have something like a pop of color on them to really make it clear that they're different. That's good.
Yeah.
She does it the same with the spin-off series.
It's like pastels.
Yeah, they're black book with a little bit of pastel on it that are different colors.
There's cohesion there.
You don't need Fire Truck Red. Relax.
I'm so sick and tired of Fire Truck Red.
Relax.
That's V.E. Schwab's thing.
It is. Yeah. Every one of her books is just...
There's a bright splash of crimson.
It's so red. I appreciate, though, that all of her books are kind of, even though they're not the same series, are kind of cohesive, though.
Yes. Except for sizes, apparently.
Yeah, God, don't get me into that. I'll
Size matters, Miss Schwab. All right. I actually wanted to talk to you about some, book talk drama.
Okay.
I live for the drama. Okay, so there's this debate that was going... Okay, no. So it started off with this one TikTok of this girl reviewing a book, and she said that she didn't like it. She finished it, she didn't like it, and that she was going to return it. Now, this apparently started a forest fire on Book Talk, where someone started accusing her of that is essentially stealing. If you read a book and return it, that you're essentially stealing from the author. And my brain hurts.
I don't think it's stealing from the author.
It's not stealing, period. There is a 30-day return policy at 100%. All stores. If you can read the book in 30 days and return it and it didn't get damaged, guess what?
Yeah, because you don't like when you've read a book though, like 100% return it if you've got the time. Like go off, do your thing. But you're returning a book that you fully read. And when people go to a bookstore, they're looking to buy a brand new book, but now this is like a, new/used book. So like if it's like if the spine has been stretched or broken,
well, then they won't return it.
But people do.
No, they won't accept it.
Really?
Because
I've seen questionable books in the bookstore.
They won't put them back on the shelves, I believe so.
Oh.
If they're like very obviously damaged.
Oh, because I see books in Indigo all the time, and I'm like, my guy, please.
I think it's bullshit. I think it's calling someone a thief because they followed a policy. Like that's...
I don't get that argument.
Like they're like, it's stealing. And then a bunch of indie authors got on this and they were like, yeah, it's stealing. We need to pay every time you return one of our books. Did you know that? And I'm like, that's not my problem. Like, since when is your finances my responsibility? You took that choice. You made that decision going into self-publishing. You knew the risks. Well, here are your consequences. I think it's just like, it's so...
I don't get why everyone has to make such a big deal about everything. Do you know what I mean? Like, if someone wants to return a fucking book, let them return the fucking book. It's not your business.
No.
It is not your business what anyone does. Like, mind yours.
Yeah.
Period.
Like, I don't think I've ever returned a book I have fully read.
No, I haven't either.
Just because I'm too lazy.
I have a book I have to return, and it's literally coming up. Like, I think I'm 3 days away from the expiry. I don't return things in general. I'm the kind of person who's like, I bought a shirt and it like doesn't fit nicely. I'm like, guess it's mine now. Guess it's mine forever.
But like, what's the difference? Like, if I don't understand why people think that's thieving. I'm like, okay, if you buy clothing and you can't try it on in the store and you go home and you put it on and then you return it, you're not a thief. You're not a thief.
You're not a thief. Like, I don't get that. Thieving is when you take something that does not belong to you.
Yeah. So that's like the equivalent of like pirating a book.
Yeah. That's stealing.
Yes.
If you go on a website and get a free book that's not a library book.
Yeah.
And you download it and you don't have permission to own that.
Yeah.
That's stealing.
Do I condone that?
Oh, God.
It's a nuanced topic. I think it's a nuanced topic. Not everyone has access to every single book. Not everyone's library is fully stocked. We're lucky. We live in a big city and we have literally all new releases are available to us constantly. But some people who live in like rural towns, some people who can't afford buying books all the time. Like, I think a lot of people on Bookstagram or in bookish spaces really forget that like having big libraries and having those Billy bookcases and having all these books and having access to all these books is a huge fucking privilege.
Massive privilege.
So do I think you should go out and steal books? No, that's a crime. But do I like hate people who do it? No.
No. Yeah.
No. And if you return a book, you're well within your rights to do so.
It's a book that you purchased with your money and you own it now. And if you don't want it anymore, you give it back and they give you your money back. There is no thieving. There is no stealing in that situation.
End of story.
Literally end of sentence. Saying stealing from authors, no. Do publishers keep track of how many books are returned? Yes. Can it be a problem for an author? Yes. But that's not your problem.
No, and again, like that's just the business that you're in. That is the business that you chose, and those are the risks and rewards of that business.
Publishing as a business is cutthroat. It is hard.
Do we think that that's good? Do we think that authors should have to pay, like self-published authors, like they have to pay for any time someone returns? No, I think that's stupid.
That's bullshit.
But that's not the reader's problem. That's the industry's problem. Mm-hmm. And putting that on a reader is really fucking stupid.
So stupid.
Yeah, especially since, again, the spaces that we're in, most of the readers in those spaces are younger. They're teenagers or they're like in their early 20s or whatever. And it's just like, we're not fucking bawling. Like, we're not Jeff Bezos's kid. Like, come on.
Annabelle and I aren't on a book buying ban by choice.
No. We would be going into Indigo and we would be buying out that store. That is my dream, by the way.
Oh God. You know what I was currently thinking about today? This is off topic. I was thinking about how I really want a Dyson Airwrap.
Oh my God.
But they're $800.
Wait, no, really?
$700, $800.
$500.
$700, $800 Canadian. Fuck me. But like, if you get it on sale during the Sephora sale, it's $500. So I was thinking to myself, like, my birthday's a few months away. My family never buys me anything. They just give me like cash. I was like, what if I just compiled all that cash and bought myself a Dyson Airwrap? That's exciting. And then I was like, or an $800 bookish shopping spree.
Oh my God. That like literally, that's my dream. I did that last year where I was like, you know what? You have $500. Go ham.
Yep. I did that on my birthday last year.
I got a bonus and I was just like, here, just fucking chill. Like, go.
It's money you wouldn't have had anyway.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's bonus money. That's why like the box that came to my door after my birthday, when like Indigo gives you that percentage off, and then I had like all these gift cards, was huge and 30 pounds.
Oh my God.
That's not an exaggeration. It took so much.
It's a wet dream.
It was crazy.
Yeah. So I think that's our conclusion is that
mind your business.
Mind your fucking business. All right, let's go into our current, our latest reads. Wrap it up. Our wrap up. We read four books.
4 books that are the same.
So
far in like the last like 2 months.
Okay, let's start off with. I think we mentioned this in a previous podcast that we were gonna buddy read Electric Idol,
and we did.
And we had differing opinions.
We did.
Guys, this is new. This is never happened before.
We're the same person.
Yeah, but I rated a spicy book fucking 5 stars.
I couldn't believe it.
She sends me a message in all caps. 5 stars?
I was fucking shook because we're both very like careful.
Yes.
Not careful. We're just, I don't know. Like,
we keep our 5 stars to ourselves.
Keep them to our chest. You know what I mean?
We hold them close.
Unzip my chest, stick it in my heart, zip myself back up. So like, you gave that book 5 stars and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and you gave it 3.5, which is like a really low rating for you.
I think I gave it 4.
Oh, you did?
Nope, it was 3.5.
Yeah.
Yep.
She gave it a low rating.
I've given like all of her books 3.5 stars, I think.
Even Neon Gods?
I think Neon Gods was 4 for undisclosed reasons.
See, that's the complete opposite. I hated Neon Gods.
Yeah, but we're both like, when we read Katee Robert, we're both after
different things. You want the slut, Hori. You want to be. You want to be sweating more than a sinner in church.
I want to burn when I walk by a church. Like when I pick up a Katee Robert book, it's for the same reason I pick up a Colleen Hoover book. I need something fast. And honestly, when I pick up a Katee Robert book, I'm looking for something fun because I know there's no plot involved. Like it's not worth it.
But there was plot.
Yeah, and I think the reason I didn't rate it as highly as you did is just because it wasn't what I was expecting and it wasn't what I was looking for at the time.
Go on. Go into detail.
The sex was fine. The smut was fine. It was good. It's always dirty. It's always great.
It wasn't very dirty though.
No.
Like it was so vanilla. Like I don't think they even.
It was just rough sex is all it was.
It wasn't even rough.
She mentions it like she wants it
rougher.
Like,
and I think there's that one scene with mirrors.
Yeah.
But that's it.
It's just sex. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just sex.
And that's not the problem I had. And I liked Psyche. And I loved all the characters. Like I thought it was great.
The ending kind of, I know I gave it 5 stars. Like in hindsight, I'm like, maybe 4.5, maybe 4.
Yeah.
But I'm like, the ending was a little like movie. Like,
yeah. It was, all of her books tend to be kind of insta-lovey. Mm-hmm. But this was because it wasn't smut focused and it was kind of plot focused. It just felt too in my face that it was insta-love.
Yeah, I like at the end of it, I was just like, oh my God, this is only like a week.
Yeah, it's only been a few days. And you guys are like
in love.
And you like will die for each other. So I don't know. I don't
You didn't like it?
I just didn't like it. I thought it was fun-ish. Not as fun as like Neon Gods or any of her other books, I don't think. But
it was a plus size woman being the object of a man's desire, and it was beautiful.
Powerful is it was.
It was so wonderful. And I loved Psyche. And
she's a
Eros
bad bitch.
Was such a fucking
Simp. He is such a simp. Like so good.
Like I think Katee Roberts describes it in the books as that like he's like a feral cat who followed home the first person that showed him kindness.
Broke my fucking heart though. I felt so sad.
He's so like that was my I'm like I am a sucker for big old simp boy. I loved it. It was the first time I had ever read a book where there was a plus size main character and she was described as like sexy and hot and he was like so into her and I'm like, oh wow. She just representation really matters.
Katee Robert just does it so well with everything that she approaches. And like she does the research.
Yeah, and she didn't do the whole like she didn't do the whole like she's curvy. She's her hips and her breasts. Like no. It was like her stomach and stretch marks. And I was like, oh.
Psyche literally says a line where she says, like, I think she says the word fat and Eros reacts. And she's like, it's not a bad word.
No.
And it was just like, I don't know, like she was so woke.
Yeah.
Psyche. And so like confident in her body and herself.
There was a scene where she like, I think she's like staying at his place and she's like, oh, I need my clothes. And he's just like, well, we'll go get you, like, we'll go buy you new clothes. And she's like, that's not how it works.
Yeah, you can't just go out and buy me anything.
No, like clothes don't really work for plus size women. Most of the time we have to find like the specific perfect thing that like just happens to work for us. And I'm like, there were so many like call outs to like the struggles that bigger women go through. And I loved it. I just loved it. But this, like, I will say this, I expected more smut.
So did I.
There was like 3 sex scenes. I think that was it, like 3 or 4.
You know, I reread all the smut scenes in Neon Gods a couple nights ago.
She got high.
I got high. In case you guys know nothing about Vancouver, you know how LA has a big cloud of smog? Well, Vancouver has one too, but it's just weed. It's just a cloud of weed. 420, blaze it. Anyways, so for whatever reason, my brain was like, you know what you need to do? Reread all the smutty scenes. And like, I bookmarked them all.
Of course you did. Of course you did. Did you annotate them? Did you write, oh my God, I really loved this one? Highlight it.
But like, there were at least 8, I'm going to say, at least.
Yeah.
And so like, yeah, Electric Eye only had 3.
Yeah, it was a bummer.
A little bit, because I went into it wanting to read just smut.
Well, it's Katee Roberts.
You expect
we spent a good half an hour being like, what's the kink? There was no kink.
There was no kink. It was just...
Which is really strange to me, because I did mention it earlier where I was just like, oh, like the myth of Eros and Psyche literally has a kink built into it.
Yeah.
Is that she can't look at him. And I'm like, why didn't you put that in there?
Put a blindfold on that bitch.
Put a blindfold on that bitch.
You know from Neon Gods that Eros is a kinky bastard.
Yeah.
Where was it?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I have to be gentle with her. And she's like, fuck the shit out of me, Eros. And he's like, no.
But he's like, no, I love you so much.
I have to be gentle with you. And I'm like, bro. She's asking you to rail her. Just do it. Pull yourself together. Just do it.
Do it. But you know, I think now in hindsight, I'm like, I look at that 5-star review, and I was just like, okay, no, I was just so happy to read a book about a plus size woman, and I fucking love Eros so much.
That's why I say, like, when I read books, I try to, if it warrants it, give it a review that's one review for like kind of like my emotional or personal rating, and then like critically what would I give it, because I feel like so many books I'm like, this emotionally made me feel so great or whatever, and I closed the book feeling so happy, so it gets 5 stars, but critically, bro, it sucks.
I know. I think I just got really wrapped up in it. I'm like, now I think if I look back on it, I think I'd give it a 4 stars. Even like, again, it wouldn't be 3.5. I think it would be 4 stars. I really like the writing. And weirdly enough, I was like interested in the plot.
Yeah, this book had a plot. Because most of Katee Robert books are, they're smut with a hint of plot. Mm-hmm. There's like a plot going on, but it ain't the point. The point is this woman getting dicked down on a stage. In front of a crowd of people.
We're here for the show, guys.
We're here for the show. So this was a plot. The smut was secondary. It was a romance with some smut in it. It wasn't smut with a hint of plot.
No, there was a full-on plot. And I think the plot at the end was just a little...
Yeah. I was like, okay.
I don't know how to explain it. It kind of reminded me of a Bollywood movie.
It was just so like...
Theatrical,
fade to black. Here's the happy ending.
Yeah. I really liked the happy ending, though. I really loved the happy ending.
I think my issue is that because it wasn't just smut and because it had a plot, I felt like it was just too easy. Like everything was too easy. It was just like, I don't know. I don't know.
I just needed that sweet, happy cupcake ending.
Yeah.
And I normally hate it. I usually love like really sad endings where like someone dies.
Oh God.
But I liked it. I liked it a lot.
I tend to get peer pressured. Like I feel pressure sometimes. And like I was looking at this book because for whatever reason, when we chose to read Electric Idol, it was all over Bookstagram.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was all over my page, my Explore page and everything. And so I looked up before I rated it. I like looked up what other people said. And everyone's giving it 5 stars, 4 stars. And I was like, what? I don't know. I don't know what it is about this book that I didn't fully like, because the representation was wonderful and the love was so cute and Eros was a simp and Psyche was a bad bitch. And Aphrodite was a cunt.
But like, this was my thing. Psyche was actually a bad bitch.
Yeah, she was.
She wasn't like, she wasn't like, we'll get into another book later that we read together. But I'm like, she was actually a bad bitch. She said things and she got shit done.
Yep.
It wasn't, she talked a big game.
Nah, that bitch had a plan.
Yeah.
Always. And Eros was just there like running along like a puppy. Sure.
So cute.
A little baby.
Little baby Eros. All right. So our final ratings, I'm going to say my final rating for this book is 4 stars.
I'm going to say mine is like 3.75.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I knocked it up 25%. You're like, it's going back down to 3.5.
We're gonna put between 3.5 and 3.75. I don't know. I don't know what it was.
All right. Our next book that we read, let's go to The Love Hypothesis.
Sure.
What did you think of good old daddy Adam?
Yo, I started The Love Hypothesis and I was like quite in love with it. And I don't really like get into rom-coms, but I was like, damn, this has potential to be like a 5-star rom-com. Like I was enjoying it. And then Olive got a little questionable for me. I just like, cause she's so smart.
You were mad.
I was a little angry because like the conflict enters and she makes a point about saying something that 100% would have solved her problem, but she doesn't realize it would solve her problem, but it's pretty blatant. And I was like, baby girl, you got a PhD. Are you soon to have a PhD?
You're about to have a PhD. Like, you dumb.
Because it was the first thing I thought. And then we were talking. We were like, is it just because we have trust issues and like we can spot a solution a mile away? Like, I don't know.
Because it's just like, I, on principle, don't trust men.
Yeah, I don't either.
To the point where your boyfriend thought I was a full-on lesbian.
Like, that scene where she goes back into the conference room. I'm not spoiling. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I would never have gone back in that room alone, even if it was empty.
No.
I would never have done that. I would have asked a friend to come with me. I would have asked anyone else to come in with me.
Like, Olive is oddly trusting.
Super trusting. And I think that was my issue with her. Is I was like, I love that for you.
I don't know a single woman who would do something like that.
Like, I love that for you because that means that you're having a good time. But
that means nothing bad has ever happened to you.
But look
and
how
I'm
easy
happy.
it is for someone to now take advantage of Olive. Sweet little Olive. I think my other issue, though,
was Adam.
Wasn't Adam necessarily.
Mine was for sure Adam, because I was just like, how he actually has the PhD, and it's like, dude, how do you not pick up the sus vibes?
Yeah, how do you not see this
so
conflict?
Obvious.
The second that guy was introduced, that the conflict is introduced, no, before the conflict is introduced, this one person is introduced, and you know Like, they seem like a nice person, but like, I knew. I was like, you're a sussy boy.
He was blonde. I immediately knew.
Nah, it was the confidence he just exuded. I was like, no.
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 You strike me as a Chad.
You strike me as a Kyle.
Sit down, Kyle.
Step the fuck up, Kyle. I think my other issue also comes back to Adam and Olive and how they're both very smart individuals, but they just believe that the other person was not into them.
That was the part that pissed me off the most.
It's like miscommunication, but what couldn't have been because there was no communication.
It wasn't the miscommunication trope. It was literally like they were just dumb.
They're just dumb. They're like, oh yeah, I'm so in love with you, but like you can't know because you don't love me, but they do. And it's like, how can you open your fucking eyeballs?
Wake up and smell the fucking daisies.
I will say though, like as an anxious person, I get it because I would never want to assume. Like when Nick
also, you're pretty fucking oblivious.
I am. My mom's like, "Do you see those guys checking you out?" And I'm like, "Who? Like what? When?" Nick does it too. He's like, "Do you not see that?" And I was like, "See what?"
You know, like when we were at that sex shop together and that girl totally full on hit on you when you were buying a vibrator.
And I couldn't even look her in the eye.
And you walk out and you're like, she was pretty. She's like, she would be my type. And I'm like, she full on, I fucked you. Like,
and I missed it. It was like the first time that like consciously someone else was there to notice a woman flirt with me, and I missed it. She's gone now.
She's gone.
It's gone.
I mean,
anyway,
I feel like every episode, Nick's just fighting for his life with your bisexuality.
Nick flirted with me for over 6 months, and I didn't know.
Hey, I'm pretty oblivious too. Linnea was in love with me for years.
And we all fucking knew it. You hear that, Linnea? We all knew. We knew.
And then I was like, yeah, I'm dating Linnea. And you're like, yeah. I would fucking hope so.
I was like, you guys are too sus to not just be best friends. Y'all were sus. It was ridiculous. I was like, there's no fucking way. Like, I have best friends, but not like that.
Not like that.
Not like that.
Not when you look at each other and the sun rises and sets at your feet.
You know when you're trying to mind your business, but two of your friends are looking at each other like they want to fuck each other, and you just have to pretend like that's not happening. Anyway,
so like, yeah, we get it as anxious.
Like we get being oblivious.
Yeah,
but like as an anxious person, like I would never like walk up to Nick and be like, "Hey, I'm into you. I like you," and you know, because I'd be too anxious, which I was. He had to come to me, and then I fucked it up, and he almost left. So it's good.
What?
Oh, did I never tell you the story?
No.
So we would like Snapchat all the time because, you know, back in the day that was the shit, and we were just Snapchatting, and so when I get the notification and I clicked it. It took me to like the chat because instead of a picture, he had sent me this huge paragraph, but I assumed that it was an accident on my part. So I swiped away. And Snapchat, the whole point is that it's temporary. So when I swiped back, the paragraph was gone.
Ashley.
So I had to message him and be like, I don't know what you sent, but I missed it. Can you send it again? Can you just text it to me? Because Snapchat, it's gone. I can't see it. And obviously in his head, he's like, this bitch is just looking for a way to let me down. Like I should just say it was nothing.
Ashley.
I got very lucky though, because he like,
did he send it?
Yeah, he texted me.
Was it cute?
Yeah, it was cute.
Oh,
yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah. But that's how oblivious I am. I'm fucking dumb. So I get it. I get it. But still, my God, it's just hard. It's always hard when you're in the character's head and you know that they're into each other. But they won't just communicate.
Yeah, I know, because it's just like it wasn't subtle.
No. Like
he was openly giving her like longing gazes.
Olive, why would this man pretend to date you?
Yeah. Why would this PhD?
He doesn't have much to gain. He's
literally like peak.
Yeah, he's literally a fucking scientist. He's kissing you. He's looking at you longingly. He's doing all this crazy stuff with you. He's letting you stay in his hotel room. Like, baby, he's a little into you.
He's a lot into you.
Even after they even after that smutty chapter.
Yeah.
And she's like, anyways,
full on. That was a chapter and a half of sex and like descriptive sex.
And it was like
loving
him, worshiping her body, like giving her head and wanting to give her head.
Yeah.
And and taking the time with her because
Yep.
it had been so long.
And the words he said, the words that came out of that filthy mouth.
And yet the next day or whatever, she's still like, sayonara. Like,
if a man said that to me, I would marry him the next day.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's go to Vegas.
Wow. Anyway.
Yeah, I would say, like, I really enjoyed the book because I read it really quickly and I was just like, oh, yeah, that was a cute, like, rom-com. And, like, I usually don't like romantic books. And I liked it. So I gave it a decent look. But I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, again, like, in hindsight, I'm like, that was a really frustrating book to read.
It was cute, but I don't think I'd reread it.
No.
Because it's just, I was a little frustrated in certain parts. But, like, I get, like, you have to put yourself in the character's shoes. But, like, Olive, sweetie.
Olive, honey.
Even Adam, you have a doctorate. And you really thought?
Well, that's what I was thinking. And I'm like, you guys are both incredibly intelligent people.
But I guess the argument is that they're introverted people. Do you know what I mean?
The best friend was like very obviously being like, hey guys.
Yeah.
Hey.
She literally got told. Someone had to tell her that she had feelings for Adam.
Yeah.
Baby.
Girly.
You're trying to solve cancer right now. And you're doing
that's
it
what
good.
she's trying to do.
And you're doing it good. But
let's not forget also this is Raylo fan fiction.
Yeah, this is 100% Ray and Kylo fan fiction.
His name is Adam Carlson.
Car.
Adam Driver.
Vroom vroom.
I don't know how they got Olive from Ray though.
Daisy Ridley.
Olive.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know.
I was like, I hope her name would be like Rose or something.
Yeah, like some sort of flower.
But then maybe it's too obvious.
All right, final rating.
4 stars.
4 stars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Next one. I read this recently. This is like fresh in my brain. King of Battle and Blood by Scarlett St.
So it's like one of the first books I read this year. So
yeah. Was this your one read of February?
No, it was a January read. My one read of February was Verity.
Random book to read in February.
The month of love. It was one of my most anticipated releases.
You were like chomping at the bit to read that book.
Because vampire books are few and far between these days. So when someone publishes one, I am on that shit. I am on it. Mm-hmm. I don't care if it's shitty. I am there. I am reading it. I am immersed. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Bring back vampire books.
Take us back to 2012.
Honestly, I want to get on Wattpad and read like a crappy vampire novel so fucking badly. It's not even funny.
Okay. Here are my thoughts.
Go off.
I liked the vampire part.
Yeah.
I liked I don't want to spoil it.
Don't spoil it.
Okay. I liked that it was a play off like Dracula.
Yeah.
And like love lost and things like that. I hated the main character with a fucking passion. And I think I find that as a commonality with Scarlett St. Clair. Yeah. She writes bimbos.
She fucking does.
But not even good bimbos, because I love me a good bimbo. Bimbos for the win, but like she writes these characters that are powerful and strong and like look at how much energy and like the main guy is just like fucking chomping at the bit for them. And I'm just like, why? Please explain to me why. This girl is insane.
Yeah.
She's infuriating.
You know what's funny about Scarlett St. Clair novels is they don't leave a lasting impression for me.
No.
So it's been like 3 months now since I've read it.
Mm-hmm.
What I remember you know how we talked about how it's plot twists are just so easy to predict?
Yeah.
That one was so obvious.
Yes.
Like, I think the foreshadowing could have been done way better than it was because
Talk about insta love.
Yeah. The second they introduce anything, like even as the slightest hint, the first hint, I was like, yep, that's where it's going.
Yeah.
I knew from the start.
Yeah.
Knew from the start.
Yeah, but that's not the thing that pissed me off. I was like, yeah, it's predictable, but I'm like, I don't like, yeah, sure, of course it's predictable. I don't see how she couldn't have made it predictable.
Yeah.
My problem was It is so obvious that she used to write fan fiction. And nothing has changed. She just writes fan fiction, but it's not published.
Yeah.
Like that's my big issue. Like, talk about like my green orbs looked at him and I put my hair in a messy bun. Like, that's literally the way she writes.
I feel like she's trying to write a romance with smut, but it ends up kind of just being smut with like a struggling plot.
I don't even think she writes smut well.
I don't either.
Like, genuinely, it was just okay. I did enjoy the book, but it sounds like I'm gonna rag on it. But she writes such misogynistic plot lines. If there's another girl character, they have to be fighting for the man's attention. There has to be jealous ex-girlfriends. There has to be, like, there's never a character. There's not, like, I think there's one other female character, but she's a lesbian, so she's not a threat. Like, that's so upsetting to read, where like women are just pitted against each other constantly. And that's why I feel like I'm like, yeah, this is like fan fiction. Like, that's, I remember reading this in fan fiction all the time. There could never be two female characters who the main guy could find attractive and not make them like completely unlikable.
Such a major theme in her writing.
And she also writes smut very male gazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not good smut.
No.
But you read it because it's smutty.
Yeah, you read it because it's smutty and you're like, ooh, a vampire.
100%. I picked it up knowing damn well that it wasn't going to be mind-blowing, but I was like, I need something shitty. I need a vampire novel. I don't care
fangs, I need blood.
I don't care if it's like the worst book ever written. Just give me a vampire novel. I don't care. So like, I liked it. Like, I had fun reading it. Critically, not great.
No,
not for us.
That's literally what I like. I was just like, I want to read a vampire novel, and I know Ashley said she kind of liked it, so I was like, I'm gonna pick it up and I'll read it, and I did like it. I enjoyed it for the vampire stuff.
Oh, yeah,
I loved the vampires. I loved the gothic castle, and I loved the like,
oh god,
brooding, tall, creepy, terrifying man.
I'm obsessed with it all.
But the storyline was so upsetting to read. The smut was dismal. it had so much potential. Yeah. But it just fell so flat.
I agree.
For me.
Yeah.
Final score, I think I said 3.5.
I can't remember now, but I think it was like, I'm gonna say 3.75.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, because I can't remember. Might have been somewhere between 3.5 and 4, because I had fun. I had fun.
What was the last book that we were going to talk about? The last book that we had read, other than This Woman Kingdom, which we've talking about.
We've talked about it.
Is
Verity.
Colleen Hoover's
Verity.
Wow. I don't have words for that book. It still haunts me.
It's a hard book to review.
Yeah.
It's just a hard book to review. I can't like this. I tried to make a TikTok reviewing it, and I was like, what am I even saying?
Hey, there's some pretty dark shit that happens.
Because here's what makes the book special. Here's the reason everyone worships that book. It is what it does to you when you finish it. Period. The characters are a little, flat, but that's
because their story, they're literally like story. They progress this because they're witnessing the story.
Yeah. You have a character, which is Verity, who is so insane and out of the ballpark. So of course the other characters are going to fall flat. But at the end of the day, the way that this book works, it's when you close it, you think and you don't stop thinking. No. And that is why that book is so popular and why it has so much hype.
I still don't. I can't stop thinking about it. I made the mistake of giving it a soundtrack. So now when I listen to certain songs, it immediately takes me back to that really dark fucking book.
See, I don't make those choices.
I loved it. I definitely think you should check trigger warnings before reading it.
Please check the trigger warnings. Like, I'll say off the top right now, like murder, violence, death of children, murder of children. Those are some big ones. Abortion. But because there's more. There is a fucking long list.
There's a lot of fat phobia in it.
Do your research on the trigger warnings so you know what to expect when you go into it.
Yeah.
Try to go into it as blind as possible. Like, I wouldn't even read the back, honestly. That's what makes it fun.
Yeah, don't read the back.
Don't even read the back.
I didn't.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Go into it blind. Read the trigger warnings.
Read the trigger warnings. It is very dark. I am usually, me and Ashley both are not people that usually get triggered by books.
No.
But I had to put that book down like multiple times.
We watch some sketchy ass horror movies.
Oh, yeah.
And worship them. But
Stab Daddy for life.
Yeah. We Scream, the movie franchise Scream.
Yeah.
We worship at its altar.
Yeah.
What if you and I end up turning into like real life versions of the killers in Scream 5 because we get so upset about Scream 6?
We're the new characters.
We're the new killers because we get angry about.
It starts off with us on the podcast.
Oh my God.
Just talking about Scream.
Oh no, we left a breadcrumb trail.
There you go. Anyway. No, yeah, we love like horror. We read like all kinds of gory, gross, nasty shit. Like, I'm fine, but I had to put this book down.
It's just so dark.
It's very shocking.
Written well. Just, I don't know. Haunts you, that book. It just haunts you.
Yeah, that book, that's a perfect word for it. It's haunting. Mm-hmm. It's addicting. It's like, I could not put that book down.
I love how it progresses. Yeah. I love how the characters progress because Verity, is a little nuts from the start. Mm-hmm. But like Lowen and Jeremy, your love interests,
sus as fuck.
They start pretty normal. And as the book progresses, they get a little more unhinged. And that is so much fun to watch unfold. Mm-hmm. Like it was just, she just did it so well. Mm-hmm. It's just, it deserves the hype it gets for what it does to you. Because we read this months ago and we're sitting on it still. Mm-hmm. We're like, Jesus Christ.
I think about it sometimes and I literally go, oh my God, what the fuck did I just read?
Like if I reread it, I think I'd still be as shocked the second time.
Yeah.
It's, whew.
And that question at the end, what do you believe? What do you believe? I think there's one very clear answer.
There's really one clear answer. But the fact that it kind of makes you think, what if it isn't?
Yeah.
What if? Like, there's just that what if.
Yeah.
Always going to be.
Which is really good. It's so satisfying. Yeah. It really reminded me of Daphne du Maurier's Rebecca. And I loved that. It was this haunting, just like you go into another world kind of feeling. And it was amazing. So I definitely would rate it like 4.5 stars. Like it was amazing.
I think I gave it 4.5 stars too.
Yeah.
I don't think I gave it 5.
I think the ending for me kind of lost a little bit. I felt like the ending was a little bit of a cop-out, that question.
It just felt like a second thought.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. That's all.
Yeah, that was for me. I'm like, the question didn't make as much sense because there wasn't enough like
substance there
or breadcrumbs to make it more believable. But overall, it was super addicting. It was a fucking wild ride.
It deserves the hype it gets because it's hyped.
It's hyped.
But I'd argue it deserves what it gets.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Final rating?
4.5.
Yeah, 4.5. Same.
Is that everything?
I think that is everything.
All right.
And now we'll never read the same books again.
We talked about trying to like do a buddy read like once a month or once every 2 months or something.
We're mood readers.
We're mood readers. Like if you looked at me right now and you were like, okay, let's both read like We Free the Stars.
Or We Free the Stars, yeah.
Yeah, like what if we just read that right now? I couldn't do it.
No, I can't force myself to pick up a book.
We just happened to be in the same place at the same time when we said let's read Electric Idol.
Except I feel like we could do that for smutty books.
I feel like we could too.
Maybe
something
we should
easy.
do that. Maybe that should be like a once a month thing. We read a fucking disgusting.
Something nasty. I want to read one of those books. Like I don't know if you scroll through Goodreads, but sometimes just to pass the time I do because it's fun. Everyone's reading these like books that just have like a naked man on the front. Can we read one of those?
A bodice ripper?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. I bet you that's filthy.
We should read the Bridgerton books.
Oh my God.
I'm actually going to read the second book in the Bridgerton. I never read the first one, but I'm like, season 2 of Bridgerton has me by the dick and balls. It is everything. My little South Asian heart.
Oh.
Canthony, everything. Enemies to lovers, everything. Longing, everything. Sexual tension, everything. I need to read that book.
Oh my God.
And I hear it's very different from the show.
Oh.
So I'm interested to read it and I'm very excited. So maybe we should start reading one of those. They are bodice rippers. They are fucking spicy.
I feel like I'd hate them.
Yeah, I know.
Because like I'm watching the TV show. Like I just told Annabelle this. I'm watching the TV show and it is not something I would ever watch for myself. It's just not up my alley.
Ashley's not a big period drama person.
I'm not a big period drama person. I think it just goes back to like the fact that period dramas were shoved up my ass in school and like books. And
they're
everything.
also very slow, and your ADHD can't handle
I can't handle it. I can't even watch a 20-minute TV show. I pause my movies and I watch a movie over the span of like 6 days.
Heroines getting dicked down in period dramas.
So what's the point? Anyways, but I'm like addicted to it, and I hate that I am because I don't actually care. It's wild.
I hated season 1 of Bridgerton. I really hated it because of some things that happened.
Yeah.
But also, I don't feel like the actors had chemistry. I felt like the plot lines, like other than the main plot line, I didn't really give a shit.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about anyone else.
I can say the same thing about season 2. I do not give a shit about any other plot line except
there's just support, and they barely
the
do that.
main plot line, which is everything.
You want to hear something sad?
Yeah.
I think I can only list on like one hand the amount of movies I can watch straight through without moving.
Go for it.
Scream 1, Scream 4, Scream 5, the Scooby-Doo movie, and The Devil Wears Prada, and that's it.
Oh my God. Mine is...
Topping the list, though, is Scooby-Doo movie.
Mine is the 2005 Pride and Prejudice, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Shrek 2.
Shrek fucking 2! Yo, when the fairy godmother does her thing, fuck.
Shrek 2 is a god tier movie.
It deserves all the love that it gets.
Like, I don't give a... Like, it deserved an Oscar.
You know what? Scrapping Scream 4, I'm throwing Shrek 2 into that.
Hell yeah. Shrek 2.
Shrek 2, baby.
And, oh no, I can't... Like, Encanto.
Oh, Encanto, yes.
Encanto is so beautiful. I love that movie. And then the songs get stuck in my head. So those are my 4 movies.
Nice.
Oh, and Shang-Chi.
Classic.
Real random.
So good, though.
I love Shang-Chi. I love that soundtrack I have on loop.
You know what's wild? I can watch just about any Marvel movie from start to finish, no matter how long, and I won't have to pause once.
Except Iron Man.
Except Iron Man, Thor Dark World.
Oh, fuck. The Dark Poo.
I think that's mostly it, though.
I cannot watch a single Iron Man movie. The first one I can get through, but every other Iron Man movie, kill me.
I've only seen them once, I think. Once or twice. Twice, I think. I've seen them
Captain
twice.
America movies? Sign me up. Spider-Man movies?
America's ass?
Sign me up.
Oh, yeah.
Ant-Man? Fuck me up. Fuck me up, Paul Rudd. Fuck me up, Paul Rudd.
God.
Anyways.
You know what's embarrassing? And I don't know why I have to share this with the world. I can quote the entire Scooby-Doo movie. The entire movie. Every line. Every character. Every song. I can repeat it to you.
Me and my fiance have this game where we literally go through movies that we've watched multiple times and we try and quote every single thing. We made it through all 4 Harry Potter movies.
Oh my God.
We do this before night and we're like delirious. Hey, Potter, is it true that you fainted?
Oh my God.
I mean, you actually fainted. Shut off, Malfoy. How did you find out? Just leave it. I can keep going.
See, yours is classy. Mine's like, what do you care? You drink out of the toilet. So do you. Like,
oh, Matthew Lillard.
Anyway,
I love him.
I love him so much.
He's also a fellow D&D nerd, so that just ups my respect for that man.
I'm Mary Jane. Like, that is my favorite name.
I love how you can just keep going.
The whole movie, start to finish, and I mean that.
Do you want to know? I don't know why I'm sharing this with you. When I was 8, the Scooby-Doo movie came out.
Hell yeah.
And Dairy Queen had a Scooby-Doo mystery machine.
Oh,
Blizzard.
No.
Your girl ate it.
Oh, no.
And she shat green.
Oh, no.
And I thought I had cancer. I went into my room and I cried for like hours.
Wait.
I cried for hours. And when my mom came and found me, I said, Scooby-Doo gave me cancer. And that's my fun fact of the day.
Oh my God. I loved Scooby-Doo.
So I always, anytime Scooby-Doo comes up, I immediately associate it with cancer and green shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's our show.
Anyways, that's our show. There's always a little something for you at the end.
There's always a
there?
little something in there for you guys.
Anyway.
You guys can always follow me and Ashley on our social media platforms. You can find Ashley at Ashes Reads on Instagram and TikTok and Goodreads. And you can find me at Many Weathered Pages on Instagram, TikTok, Goodreads. Please make sure to leave a review and rate the podcast. That definitely helps us out. If you have any comments, questions, and concerns, feel free to DM us at our Instagram at Chaotically Bookish, and send us an email. We have all our links in the description. Anyways, have a wonderful week. And I hope your bowels are peaceful.
And not green.
And I hope you have a great book to read. Anyways, see you guys next time.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye.